Simon, for years I have kept this secret for fear of ruining my professional reputation that I've worked so hard to build in my local community. Many see me as an honest, hard-working woman. Oh, can I just say, before we go any further, if you're having your tea, there is a little element of maybe you might just want to pause. Just as a little kind of public safety announcement. Okay. Yeah. Honest, hard-working woman in a public sector role, a public figure who champions integrity and exemplifies professionalism. I like the sound of this person. However, I harbour a stomach-churning dark secret that if it ever becomes public, I will be run out of town like a renegade in a cowboy film. I have many weaknesses, I suppose we all do, but my weakness is a stomach that doesn't cope very well with a combination of tapas, followed by sangria, lager, wine, and shots of something or other. Many other Scottish women see this as a standard night out, but I, on the other hand, prefer a nice cup of tea and an episode of Mastermind. Anyway, says Anonymous, a few years ago I had tickets to a gig in Glasgow to see Dennis LaCourier of Doctor Hook fame at the well-known venue Oran Moor in Glasgow's West End. I met my friends in a lovely Spanish tapas restaurant in the famous Ashton Lane, where we enjoyed lots of rioja, sangria, Corona lager, and some food. I know you know where this is heading. After copious amounts of alcohol and the odd little plate of patatas bravas, we all headed off on the short walk. Where on arrival, we had some more wine, beer and shots. We had a great night and left in a very merry state with Sylvia's mother ringing in our ears. A quick subway trip, another walk to Glasgow Central, and a sprint in a pair of heels meant that we caught the infamous last train from Glasgow Central. So infamous, Billy Connolly wrote a song about it. The train was rammed. It was stinking of a combination of chips and cheese, chips and gravy, chips and curry sauce, and fish and chips, stale booze and more chips. I managed to get a seat in a set of 4. I was opposite my friend, beside a couple who occupied the window seats. This couple were facing each other with a small table between them, upon which were 2 polystyrene tubs of chips, soaked in vinegar. As the rickety train moved from side to side and swayed backwards and forwards, I shut my eyes, and just for a moment as I was exhausted from all the pogo dancing to Doctor Hook classics. Just as a point of reference at this point, I don't think you pogo to Doctor Hook, do you?
No, not really, no.
Your Honour. Anyway, I tried to focus on the other passengers singing songs, but could only open my mouth a fraction to try and join in the Scottish chants of I Would Walk 500 Miles. I glanced at the couple next to me and noticed they'd fallen asleep, or more likely in a food coma, given all the chips they'd stuffed into their faces. My stop was almost at the end of the line, so the train wasn't as busy. However, a group of brain donors remained on the train, behaving like Neanderthals, shouting profanities at anyone who dared make eye contact. I, being a woman of class, was rather disgusted with their antics. My stop neared and I got up to alight from the train, remembering to take my belongings, as the helpful lady announced that my train was about to stop. I tottered towards the door in my heels, holding my carrier bag. At this point, one of the Neanderthals stood in my path. Now, I'm going to do this as a Cockney accent, even though clearly this wasn't going to be...
come on. Oh, no.
One of the Neanderthals stood in my path and said, all right, doll, kiss a kiss and I'll let you pass me. Followed by, how about a wee dance then, eh? And then, what's the password, eh? As he playfully jumped from side to side. I knew he was only having fun, so decided a kick in the Davina McCalls would have been a little harsh. So I said, I am not going to kiss you, I do not want to dance with you, and the password is kebab and chips. At which point I lifted the carrier bag to his eyeline and said, you want this? It's still warm. He put his hand to the bottom of the bag. His eyes lit up and said, seriously? I said, of course, you deserve it. He took the bag from me, planted a kiss on my cheek and told me that I was a top bird. He turned to his friends whilst holding the bag aloft and said, lads, kebab and chips, wahey! At this... obviously, we've skipped a bit. At this point, the train was stopping and I was at the door, desperately waiting for the doors to open. As I jumped off, I watched 5 guys flock around this apparent takeaway like pigeons around a slice of bread in George Square. I gave them a wave as they blew me kisses. I quickly scurried away. As you may have realised, my carrier bag did not contain kebab and chips or anything that recognised food, for that matter, but it had proved very helpful to me about 10 minutes earlier. Simon, I seek forgiveness for my sick joke, which has probably left these young men scarred for life. I'm sorry for the stench that hit them square in the face. Da-da-da, missed that one. Don't read that bit. I feel guilty that I got up the next day feeling magic, having ridden myself. Oh, I'm not going to read that bit. Anyway, never again will I drink sangria before a gig. Ever, ever, ever. Please, Father Simon, will you forgive me? Anonymous, somewhere on the west coast of Scotland, in a very important job, doing very important things. Sister Susie, I think we cleaned that up nicely, didn't we? I think we got there.
I think we got there. Yeah, it was good in the end. Well, we've all been there. I think not eating enough dinner, got a bit too excited, had a bit too much fun, went a bit too far. I'm just glad that she wasn't poorly in the establishment that she was drinking or dancing in, because I've been there on the other side of the door.
Yes,
and it's not
because
pretty
you
and
work
it's
in a
not
pub.
nice.
No, okay.
I work in a pub. I've had to clean it up. But yeah, I also would be disgusted by the gentleman's antics, so I feel like they deserved it.
Okay.
I probably would have given him a kick in the Davina McCalls.
You should see, Brother Matthew, you should see what we took out of this particular tale. But what do you say?
I can only imagine. I'm obviously going to forgive, because absolutely he deserved whatever was coming his way. And a great appearance there from Patatas Bravas and Sangria. Well done, Patatas Bravas. So I'm obviously going to forgive, if only because it's a first example of Simon editing on the fly.
Yes.
I haven't quite read all of it, but I'm just going to edit on the fly. So,
I thought it was okay, and then I realised that it probably wasn't going to be okay because it's tea time and everything.
Okay.